stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The Department of Health has warned that the continuing increase in coronavirus disease cases in the country is signaling the start of a surge and called for stricter adherence by the public to minimum health standards. Undersecretary Rosario Singh Vergere in a Zoom meeting said that cases in the National Capital Region may go up to 4,000 a day if people will continue to flout the minimum health protocols imposed by the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Vergere said 9 cities have reversed the trend, but the DOH is seeing that this may change due to the expected increase in cases during the holidays. She added that the DOH has not yet recommended any change in the quarantine status of the NCR and other high-risk areas. The DOH has also asked hospitals to prepare for the post-holiday surge in COVID-19 cases and to ensure the availability of the required 20% bed allocation as a necessary backup in case of a peak. It also called on the public to avoid closed or indoor settings, crowded places, conversations, and other super spreader events. Metro Manila mayors have committed to help the DOH in its intensified campaign to flatten the COVID-19 curve after reports showed overcrowding in most places in the NCR due to the holiday rush. Average hunger for this year has reached a new record, while an estimated 4 million Filipino families experienced involuntary hunger in the latest Social Weather Station's survey. The nationwide survey, done face-to-face among 1,500 respondents from November 21 to 25, found that 16.0%, or an estimated 4 million Filipino families, experienced involuntary hunger due to lack of food to eat at least once in the past 3 months. The nationwide survey, done face-to-face among 1,500 respondents from November 21 to 25, found that 16.0%, or an estimated 4 million families, experienced involuntary hunger due to lack of food to eat at least once in the past 3 months. In September 2020, hunger was at 40.7%, or an estimated 1.9 million families in the Visayas, 37.5%, or an estimated 2.1 million Filipinos families in Mindanao, 28.2%, or an estimated 941,000 families in Metro Manila, and 23.8%, or an estimated 2.6 million families in Balance, Luzon. November's 16.0% hunger rate is the result of the 12.6%, or an estimated 3.1 million families who experienced moderate hunger, and 3.4%, or an estimated 838,000 families who experienced severe hunger. According to the SWS, moderate hunger refers to those who experience hunger only once or a few times in the last 3 months. Meanwhile, severe hunger refers to those who experience it often and always in the last 3 months. Nationwide, moderate hunger and severe hunger are 12.6% and 3.4% respectively in November 2020, compared to 22.0% and 8.7% in September 2020. Labor Secretary Sylvester Bello III said there should be a national minimum wage rate for domestic workers. In a press briefing on Thursday, the labor chief believes a 6,000 peso national minimum wage for domestic workers is a reasonable amount, which the secretary said is still a proposal. The labor chief prefers a uniform floor wage rate for all domestic workers instead of the current regional setting. He added that a 6,000 peso national minimum wage will help domestic workers send their children to school. The minimum wage of household workers is dependent on the rate set by the regional tripartite and productivity wage boards as provided for by the Kasambahays law. At present, the National Capital Region has the highest minimum wage rate at 5,000 pesos. In Metro News, Muntinlupa to step up campaign versus firecrackers and modified mufflers. Pasig Barangay gives 500 pesos as Christmas gift to seniors. And Manila named as most competitive city in the Philippines. More from this report.
The Muntinlupa City government will strengthen its campaign to implement local laws banning the use of firecrackers and aftermath of modified mufflers that emit loud noise, including the arrest of violators. City Ordinance 14-092 prohibits the manufacturer, display, sale, distribution, possession, or use of firecrackers or pyrotechnic devices and similar explosive devices within the territorial jurisdiction of Muntinlupa City. Violators face fines from 1,000 to 5,000 pesos, and business establishments selling firecrackers may face revocation of their permit and license to operate. Mall owners or similar establishment may organize fireworks displays in designated areas after securing a permit from Bureau of Fire Protection and the Philippine National Police. Instead of conducting a Christmas party for senior citizens, a barangay in Pasig City has opted to just distribute 500 pesos cash gifts to its about 750 senior citizens. This, according to Barangay San Antonio Pasig Chairman Raymond Lising, is their way to ensuring the safety of the senior citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that the barangay personally delivered the cash gifts to senior citizens right at their doorsteps. In June, the barangay distributed 1,000 mid-year cash gifts to its seniors. The city of Manila was hailed as the most competitive, highly urbanized city in the country in the Department of Trade Industry's 8th Regional Competitive Summit held on Wednesday. It also won first place in the other categories: most competitive in government efficiency in highly urbanized cities and most competitive in infrastructure for highly urbanized cities. The capital city placed third for the Economic Dynamism and Resiliency Awards under the highly urbanized city category. The awards given for the Regional Competitiveness Summit are based on the Cities and Municipalities Competitiveness Index, an annual ranking of competitiveness of cities and municipalities in the country.
Congratulations, Manila. And here are the top news in other parts of the country. More than 100 animals rescued from Taal volcano now find new homes. Biliran town moves from bottom of the list to 4th most improved LGU in the country. And 5 more testing sites to boost Davao City's detection of COVID-19 cases. Details in this report.
Over 100 animals rescued from the Taal volcano island have already found new homes, according to the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA. During the eruption of Taal volcano last January, countless of pets and farm animals were left behind by their owners as families were not allowed to bring them. The PETA team went to the affected areas to rescue the animals. According to PETA, the rescued animals was given a second chance in life with their new homes, and that the ordeal is now behind them and they can now live a happy and full life. From the bottom of the list, an interior town in Biliran province ranked 4th as the most improved local government unit nationwide for the 5th to 6th class municipalities category by the Department of Trade and Industry's Cities and Municipalities Competitiveness Index Survey 2020. The rankings of cities and municipalities are based on the sum of their scores on economic dynamism, government efficiency, infrastructure, and resiliency. Kaibiran Biliran Mayor Rodessa D. Evita has expressed gratitude to each department's efforts for complying with the documents for the assessment, who have been working hard in order to provide efficient public service to their constituents. 5 additional coronavirus disease testing sites have been established to boost efforts in Davao City to detect more confirmed cases. The local government hopes that more people, particularly close contacts of COVID-19 cases, will get access to the virus test with the addition of new testing centers. They also hope to decongest the swabbing site in Santa Ana Health Center and minimize the risk of COVID-19 transmission.
In world news, U.S. health worker has serious allergic reaction to Pfizer vaccine. Australia's Byron Bay Beach shrinks as sand disappears. Chinese craft carrying moon rocks returns to Earth. Let's watch this report.
A health worker in Alaska suffered a serious allergic reaction after getting Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine and is now hospitalized but stable. The New York Times reported the person received their shot on Tuesday, and Pfizer confirmed it was working with local authorities to investigate the incident. 2 health workers in Britain had similar allergic reactions, causing the government there to tell the people to avoid getting the shot if they had a history of severe allergies. The U.S. regulator issued an emergency approval with the warning that people who had known allergies to ingredients inside the vaccine should avoid it. The U.S. is vaccinating some 3 million people this week with the vaccine and hopes to reach a total of 20 million people this month if another vaccine developed by Moderna is approved. The tourist hotspot's main beach, Byron Bay in New South Wales, Australia, has been reduced to a thin strip by a sand-shifting phenomenon known as headland bypassing. Recent wild storms have then eroded it further. For more than 6 months, residents have watched helplessly as the beach has slowly disappeared because of what scientists say is the natural process of headland sand bypassing. This occurs when sand moves from one beach to another around a rocky headland or cape, largely due to energy from waves, before eventually shifting back. An unmanned Chinese spacecraft carrying rocks and soil from the moon returned safely to Earth early Thursday in the first mission in 4 decades to collect lunar samples, according to Xinhua News Agency. The China National Space Administration declared the mission a success after the capsule carrying the samples collected by the Chang'e 5 space probe landed in northern China's Inner Mongolia region. With this mission, China became only the 3rd country to have retrieved samples from the moon, following the United States and Soviet Union in the 1960s and 1970s. CNSA said the capsule will be airlifted to Beijing for opening, and the moon samples will be delivered to a research team for analysis and study.
In entertainment, Cinemalaya 2020 film Excuse Me, Miss is set to compete at the 2021 Sundance Film Festival in the United States. Directed by Sonny Calvento, Excuse Me, Miss is a social satire about the plight of contractual workers in the Philippines. It stars Angelina Canapi, Bob Dugeli, and Feliz Grande. The Sundance Film Festival is an environment where bold, creative, and distinctive voices are celebrated. The festival is set to run from January 28 to February 3, 2021. In sports, Filipino boxing Olympian Yumir Felix Marcial scored a hard-earned victory in his professional debut on U.S. soil. The 25-year-old Marcial had to take a good number of crisp punches, but was still able to outwork American Andrew Whitfield en route to a 4-round unanimous decision win held Thursday morning Manila time at the Shrine Exposition Center in Los Angeles, California. Marcial was his usual self offensively as he pummeled Whitfield with combinations to the face and body. By the second round, Whitfield's right eye was already badly swollen. But the Southpaw Olympian also took some blows as Whitfield proved to be a tough nut to crack and seemingly showed no respect to Marcial's credentials. All 3 judges scored the bout with an identical 40-36, all for the Zamboanga native Marcial. This was Marcial's first fight since his March ring conquest, when he secured a slot in the Tokyo Olympic Games by winning the gold in the Asian Olympic qualifying tournament. Marcial, who signed a promotional deal with MP Promotions in July, became idle since the start of the pandemic until he decided to proceed to the United States last October to train under coach Freddie Roach. Marcial is preparing for his campaign in next year's Tokyo Olympics, scheduled July 23 to August 8, 2021. And those are the news on web today, December 17, 2020. It's 8 days before Christmas. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph, or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.